Erica, and I am one of the adult leaders at Kyeon, and I was just going to share a little bit of my story about this past year and how I have seen God work in my life and how I've seen our relationship grow.
So the past few years have been rough, to say the least, for all of us. With everything going on in COVID, it's been hard to find a light. And it seems like we've had to go to hell and back. And for some of us, it doesn't feel like we're back yet. So
as I'm sure many of you can guess, the year 2020 was not as I expected it was going to go. At the very beginning in January, I was a new student teacher in college, so excited to learn and grow and achieve all the things that I was excited to achieve. In March, things came crashing down, and obviously all of our realities shifted a lot. And I was pulled away from the community that I knew and loved. I went to Hope College, which, if you guys know Heather, that's the same school that she went to. And it's a large faith community. And it was a space where I felt comfortable, where I felt like I could talk about God, I could know God, and I could grow with God. And all of a sudden that community was stripped away from me, and I no longer had it. You know, there were some options. We could Zoom. We had some services that were posted online, but it wasn't the same experience. And so I had felt this like sinking feeling in my heart, knowing that that community that was so precious, that was so important to me, was taken away, and I didn't have that anymore.
the prompt was, how have I seen God grow in my faith in the past year or two? And when I saw that text from Aaron, I go, initially, he hasn't. Purely because how I feel closest to God is serving, whether that's mission trips, whether that is Roca or the fall, and just being with other people and being able to serve and being able to bring up that conversation of God. That's how I feel closest, and I haven't been able to do that. I haven't been able to see my community. I haven't been able to go on these trips and feel that connection.
Through that time when we were in quarantine, I spent a lot of it reflecting about the time that I had spent at the school that I was in, the things that I want to do when I become an adult, and trying to figure those things out and kind of wrestling with God about, I had this plan, then it changed, now we're here, what's going on? And so I spent a lot of time wrestling with God. Later in that summertime, I actually ended up working for a camp, and the theme of the camp was, the theme for that year at camp was hope and having hope in God. And at that point, I didn't have very much hope in God. My mom had been recently diagnosed with breast cancer. We were going through all of COVID stuff, and I was worried about getting a real life job. And so my hope in God was not feeling super great at that point.
And it's been really hard. The past few years, my mental health has gone down pretty steadily, and it's just been hard because it feels like the light is slowly getting dimmer, just because there's less and less to hold on to, because it feels like we have so much less and less.
But through this camp, I was able to find like-minded Christians who were able to talk to me about the Bible and talk to me about what our faith in God looks like. And through that community, I was really able to grow closer towards God and remember that our faith and our hope is found in the Lord. And when we focus our eyes on Him and we focus our attention on Him, we grow in many different ways, more than what we can imagine.
But the more I started to think about the question, the more I kind of realized how much we have. Because when I think about that, I think about how we've gotten to make it something that we can use and we can grow in our faith with our community, because it's been hard and we found ways around it, whether it's Zoom calls or texting your friends or seeing your leaders for coffee. It's the small thing.
A lot of people might say, we grow in the uncomfortable, we grow in the hard. And I believe that we grow closer to God during those hard moments. And throughout that summertime and throughout that, period of quarantine at the beginning of March, I spent a lot of time wrestling with him. But I can say that after really trying to figure out what does my faith mean to me and how can I live it out, coming later into this year, I was really able to figure out what it means to me. Just going through and reflecting, reading my Bible, going through and writing in my journal, being with like-minded Christians, challenging my faith, all of those things work together to help me have more hope in the Lord.
What made me realize that I have gotten closer to God was my appreciation for those kind of things, because I realized that no matter how hard it is, God will shine through in the small things, whether it's a text or a call or coffee or the ability to have a Zoom call. We get those prizes and we see how important they truly are, but no matter how deep we are in, we know that God will pull us out, just like he has been. And this past few years have really made me realize that we have it well and we have the ability to do anything because God is with us.
I hope this story brings hope and truth to you, and that you are able to wrestle with God and learn more about your faith throughout this year. Happy 2021, guys.